Hello there, how are you guys doing? Welcome back into our channel, So Hill Codes. And in this series, the series is going to be called From Scratch. And the aim of the series is to create different things from scratch, things which are sometimes we see them as impossible, so we end up using some NPM packages. For example, most of our times we use NPM packages for things like image slider, and sometimes even things like navigation bars, sometimes some animations. So I'm going to show you guys how you can make those things from scratch. So welcome, and I hope you're going to enjoy this series. So this is an example of what we're going to do today. And this is actually an asset picker where you can pick assets, for example, images or videos. And yeah, so this is an example where we will have a button here which is going to add a new button. With this button is going to enable us to select images. So we're going to click on this and you're going to select an image. And once we select an image, it is going to display right away in this bigger division, and we're going to add another one, and we're going to select also an image, and it is going to appear right away. And we're going to add another. But if we try to add another selector here, it is going to say not allowed because we want the size of images to not exceed, size of selectors not to exceed the size of images by 2, only by 1. So yeah, so if we select this, it is going to, and then we're going to select the same image, and it is going to give us an error. So asset available. But if we select another image, then it is going to be fine. And the number of assets that we want to pick is actually 5. So if we exceed, it is going to give us an error. So maximum image is 5 reached. So this is kind of what we're going to do today. And so I hope you guys are going to enjoy this. And yeah, so I hope you're going to learn a lot. And yeah, and of course, without forgetting, if we click on these dots, it's going to change the current image. So welcome back. I'm going to create a new directory in here, and I'm going to name it Scratch. And let me open a new on desktop. Scratch this one. And it is actually going to be an XDS app, yeah, with TypeScript enabled. So we're also going to install some few packages in here. We're going to need SAS, and of course, yeah, SAS for scss, and of course React icons, and of course class names, because we're going to use so a new terminal. And let us create, so npx create next app, and let us call it Scratch as well. So this is going to take some time, so I think I have to pause the video and then I'll need to install the following packages. Create next step. Okay. So I think the process of installing the okay. There's an error or something. Okay. Let me try to change. I'll call it from. I don't know what is causing the error, but they say okay. There is absolutely a problem here. So let me pause the video and then we'll come back to it. So I was having this problem because this command is not alright. So I'm going to change the name of our app into a set picker so that it is easier to understand. So let us click the enter button and then wait. Okay, they say the name can not contain capital letters. Okay, total okay with it. Yes, I'm going to use TypeScript. Yes. Now I'm going to leave the default and they are. So let us pause and then wait for the application to finish and then we'll come back. So the project is all but done. So we're going to install some few packages. So let us see into our project. Let's pick here and then npm I. The first one which we're going to install is actual scss, and then the second one is actual React icons, and the third one is actual class names. So this one won't take much of your time, and just wait, So clear npm run f. So this is our index page. I'm going to delete everything. I'm going to start a new one. Let me call it home. Does not matter anyway. I'm going to have home.1.scss. So home with of 100 picture with and then weight of 100 VH, display flex, then align item center, display content center, and then I'm going to import styles. So let us create. So first of all, this is our home, and we're going to have an item instead of home. And of course, inside our item, we're going to have a hero, right? And then we're going to have something known as function. Inside our action, we're going to have left and right. In the right section, we're going to have an item, and we're going to have an icon here. So let us import React icons /o plus let's change it into by, and then let us use our icon here. So let us save it and see on the web. So yeah, we will have our icon here, and so we will have home, and then after home we will have item, width of 100%, and of course we will have action or something. Yeah, so after item we will have hero and then action. So action width of 100%, and then display flex, right? Align item center, justify content, space between, right? But I think we need this to be 50% and not 100%, right? And from left to right, and the left is, as of now, does not have anything, but we need the left to have 90% of our width, and of course the right is to have only 10% of our width. Of course, inside this right we will have an add. So add background of crimson and border radius of 50%. Display block and item center, justify content center. Okay, I think we do need this one to have its own weight, so width of maybe 40 pixels and height of 40 pixels as well. So it is actually more clear. This one has to be flex and not block. Of course, cursor pointer. So yeah, and of course this item will have a title will have here, which is going to width of 100% and height of 40, 100 pixels, and then background of black, right? And then display of flex, and then align item center, display content center, right? And inside our hero we need to have some sort of an action or something. So let us start it. So constant image, set image, we're going to use state, since this one is TypeScript, so we're going to use the n annotation, which is actually an array here. So if image dot length is less than 1, we're going to return null, right? And then if it is greater than 1, we're going to return image. Source, let us see. For now we don't have any source, so that is, so yeah, so img width of 90%, height of 90%, object fit, cover. Here is going to be position relative, because we also need some, this is going to have, so let us have some thumbs, yeah. And so image dot length dot map item of type any, which is pointing out to, so dot right, so thumbs, and position is going to be absolute, and then bottom 0, display flex, align item center, display content center, and the dot width is going to be 10 pixels, and height of course 10 pixels, margin of 5, background of white, and I'm going to see if it is actually active, and give it a background of crimson. Right? So even if I save it, you're not going to see anything because we do not have any images as of now. So as you can see, this is what we do have now. So let us do something. Let's copy it and name it to selector. Set selector. Right? And so in our selector, we're going to have let image 1 is equal to selector dot length right, and then if selector dot length is greater than image dot length, then I'm going to give it an error. Why? Because we do not want the selector to be more than two times more than images. So it is only allowed to be a selector which is one more than the image. So we're going to show an alert which says not allowed. Right? And then I'm going to return, because if we do not return, it is going to keep on executing, and that is not a good. We'll practice an else. If selector dot length is greater than or equal to 5, I'm also going to give it an alert which says maximum images 5 reached, and then we're also going to return, and then else we're going to do something. So selector dot push, right, selector dot push image and then $sign image plus 1, image 1 plus 1, right? So yeah, and then set selector. We're going to pass in our selector dot mark, because we want to change the UI. So if we do not change the UI, it is going to be a bad user experience, right? So if the add selector function is clicked, then it is going to If there was one or there was no selector, then it is going to increment the selector by 1. So I think that is kind of what we need to do here, and we're going to call it in this. So on click, add selector. So yeah, and so selector dot map item, which is of type any, and pointing out to. So inside this selector, I'm going to have something named item. And so let us go back here, and instead of this here in the next section, left, and this is actually item, I think. Display, flex, line items, center, display content, flex start, and then we're going to have this item here of width of maybe it has maybe 50 pixels, and then height of 50 pixels, and then background of crimson. And let us see. Yeah, we do have this one, but I think we need this one needs to be at least 100 pixels, because we need some margin. So margin to open and open 10 pixels, and left and right 0. Yeah. And of course, the item itself are going to have margin right of maybe 10. Okay, so this one is working fine. We need to see something here. So since we do have our selector, let's see what we can do next. Okay. So in our selector, we're going to have a statement. So if index, we need an index here, which is of type number. So if index plus 1, right, is greater than image.length, this one is giving me errors, and I don't know. So we might be able to type some next one. Okay. No, this is causing issues, but okay. This needs to be inside item. So if index plus 1 is greater than images with length, then you're going to return, let us call it select or something, picker. And inside this, we're going to have an input of type file and an ID of file, and then style of display, none, right? And then I'm going to have a label with an ID of file, and of course this needs to have an icon here. And else we are going to have our image, which is of type image and the current index. So yeah, so let us do something here. So constant current, set current, which is equal to use state, and pass it 0. So our current index is actually 0. We're going to use it now. So this is going to be image / current. So let us save it and then see what we have. This one does not display anything. Not allowed, not allowed, not allowed. Okay. We need something else in here, and that is an onChange method. So we do have this function of addSelector and then constant onChange of type change event constant one, which is of type any, is going to be equal to e.target files. We will put it 0 in here, but it is going to give us an error. I don't know why. What is wrong with TypeScript? So we need to do it anyway. So constant 2 is equal to URL.create object URL, and then I'm going to pass in our one and the object which is the first one, so 1 of 0. So In this one, we picked, I think, an array of files. So if we want to create an object URL, we're going to pass in only the first one, so it does not give us an error. So I think you guys understand that. And then we need to have something called names. Set names as we have to use state type name, which is an array. So I'm going to check if names includes, and then I'm going to pass in our 1 or 0 dot name, and then if this includes, then I'm going to do something also alert, and the error is going to be a set available. And then else, first of all, we need to return, and then else, image push to, right? And then names push 1 or 0 with name. So I think you guys understand why we are using these names. This is simply just to check if the asset is already in our array of images, and if this asset is already available, then we're going to give out an error. So that is the kind of what we need in here. So we're going to set image, and then I'm going to pass image.map item, which is pointing out to an item, right? This is an, and we're going to copy it and then change it back to names. Yeah. So on change, I'm going to pass it here. On change, it is working, but as you can see, we didn't style it properly. So first of all, we need to do something this kind of thing. So inside the item, it's going to have an image with 100%, height 100%, and an object fit cover. Yeah. But we do need this icon to be at the center. So this one, display flex, align item center, display content center. Yeah, of course, cursor pointer. And we're going to increase the size 25. Yeah. And after this one, I think we need something here, which is in forms or something. Yeah, forms here. So this is an item, and in this table of dots, cut, and then I'm going to import class names. So import cx from class names. So cx, and then I'm going to say if index or current is equal to index, then styles.active, and then we need to pass it that index here, which is of type number. Yeah. So yeah, this is quite good, you know. And we're going to set an unclick function. Set current to the current index. And in this dot, cursor pointer. So this is working fine, and of course we're almost there. But we need some way of deleting these images if someone does not want the selected image. So we are going to create another function to delete our images. So this is going to be the last one. So constant First of all, we need to pass two things in here, which is the selected image. So image 1, which is of type any, and then selector 1, which is of type any as well. And then we're going to get their index. So constant image index is equal to image dot index of then we're going to pass it this image one, and then just copy it and then just call it selector index. Right. So if selector includes selector 1, then you're going to delete that selector. So selector is price selector index of 1 to that position of 1, which is only 1, is going to be deleted here, right? And then image that is price, image select image index first object, and then we're going to set name that is price, names that's price, image 1 that's name, and then set selector.map, So let's use this function. We're going to use it in our image. So click, we're going to pass it. The first one is image, and then the second one is selector. So image of index, and then item. So let us see if this one is working. Yeah, it is working. So if I do this, it's going to go. This one is gone. And this one. Let me just refresh it. So this is it, guys, for this tutorial. I hope you guys enjoyed this tutorial, and you guys learned a lot from this one. So I hope to produce even more content based on this. So creating things from scratch, and yeah, so we're going to learn a lot. And I hope you guys are going to subscribe into my YouTube channel and then get notified every time I post a new video. So thank you guys, I hope to see you in the next part.